We are here with our friends from Forsyth County, and we're just so excited to hear more about that wonderful presentation, as well as all the great things that's happening in Forsyth. So I'm going to go ahead and allow Sarah to introduce herself and then allow the team just to go around.
Hi, I'm Sarah Simcox, and I'm at Chattahoochee Elementary School in Forsyth County, and just thrilled to be here. And these ladies that are sitting here with me are my inspiration every day, and I lean on them, and they're just so gracious to help me.
Okay, let's go with Amy.
All right. Amy Chang, I'm the Federal Programs Director here in the district, which also means that I am kind of the District Family Engagement Coordinator.
Great. Meg.
Hi, I'm Meg Killingsworth, and I'm the Family Engagement Coordinator at Chestatee Elementary. This is my 6th year in this role, and I'm really happy to be here today.
Great. And Virginia.
Hi, I'm Virginia Brown. I'm the Family Engagement Coordinator at Cumming Elementary, and this is my 5th year in this role. And I love getting together with everybody, just hearing all the different views, because it definitely changes every year.
Yes, especially when we have to go virtual.
Yes.
Like this.
Yes.
Everything changes. Well, I'm John Scott, one of the family engagement specialists with the Georgia Department of Education. I serve the Middle Georgia region, and I am joined by my wonderful colleague, Mandy. Mandy, introduce yourself, please.
Hi, ladies. I am Mandy Griffin, and I am also a family engagement specialist with the Georgia Department of Education, and I primarily serve the North region of the state.
Great. Okay, so you all, let's talk about family engagement. And I want to start by asking you, Sarah, about your project. What inspired it? How do you, because I know you guys work a lot together. You're doing so many wonderful virtual things. So just tell me about your project and all the great things that's happening in Forsyth.
Well, I tell you what inspired me to do the project is I attended in September your virtual meeting. And as we went, I got lots of ideas from your meetings that you had. But when we broke out into the breakout groups, we were able to share what we did as our counties. So I was talking about what our district did, and I'm brand new. I did not mention that. So I'm brand new to this role. And our school is targeted assisted, and next year we'll be school wide. So I'm very excited about that. But I am brand new. So what do you do when you don't know what to do? You collaborate with your friends here. So I didn't know that everybody didn't do what we did. So as I was talking about what our county did, I was just super happy when people were asking so many questions, and they just kept saying, "You did what? And how did you do that? And how did you all know to do that?" So I just was very inspired, and actually I was just super proud and impressed with what we already had in place. So since 2014, Forsyth County has been doing our inclement weather days online. So we have had that in our pockets, and we've had that kind of an experience. So we were able just to tweak that as we went along. And I guess that has given us just the footing that we needed to get where we were. So when I came back after that meeting, I was like, "You guys, we really have it going on, and we should enter this contest." So they encouraged me to do that, and I did. So that was my inspiration.
Wow, fantastic. I love too that you are a new coordinator. I know we have some people on the call that may be new when we get together as a state. And so talk about, Amy, the support that you provide those new district coordinators, such as Sarah, who you can tell has a passion for this, is just ready to go forward. So Amy,
Yes.
talk about that.
Sure, absolutely. So first and foremost, we have a district Title I leadership team, and that is comprised of a Title I lead teacher that is selected by the principals. So they are kind of the point person for what is going on instructionally with our Title I programs in our schools, and kind of helps be one of those another additional liaisons with the principals to help out with that too. And then also on that team, in addition to the leadership, is we have our family engagement coordinators as well. And so we try to meet 5 times a year. We for sure meet 4 times a year. And now we started to meet in each other's schools, so we were able to kind of gain some information and some collaborative practices and such by visiting each other's schools. And now, unfortunately, we're having to meet virtually, but we're still doing that, and we still meet to collaborate and such. But also, in addition to that, not only do we have that core group of, that meet together for technical assistance, but I also go out to the schools too. And so I met individually with Sarah and her lead teacher, Christy, on several occasions, providing them technical assistance and answering their questions and providing them with all the resources that they needed. And, the constant communication with them too. I'm always kind of checking in, sending emails. They can text me, they can call me too. And then also setting them up with these two fine ladies too, with Virginia and with Meg too, and encouraging them to reach out to her and really, help her with things that even I wouldn't think of, because they are school based. And so they have a different perspective than I do too. And being in their roles for as long as they have, and just, knowing that they have solid programs too, asking them to be kind of mentors to her as well and to share resources and such.
Yeah, that collaboration is huge. Okay, I'll let Mandy go with the next question.
I know that Forsyth County is doing a lot of great work with their families. This school year has obviously been different as we have come into it after finishing a very interesting school year last year. What has been the biggest success in reaching out to your families this school year thus far? And how are you highlighting that success to other schools and maybe the community as well?
Well, I can give an answer on that one. And it's honestly not really academic. So you may need me to answer with another way too. But, after last year, it was really scary for parents to want to send their kids back in a lot of situations. And so we started with our car line, which we have a lot of folks going through car line every morning and every afternoon because they're scared to put their kids on the bus because of COVID. So we play music out there and we make it quite a show. And on Fridays, we dress up. So Wednesdays we have some costumes. We have a counselor who has a costume on every day, and then Friday the whole gang has something on. So we've been Cat in the Hat, we've been Toy Story characters. Last week we were Elsa and Anna. We've had a circus, but the intention really was that when parents would drive through, if they saw that we were happy as a staff to be there and that it was a happy, good place and not COVID fear, then they would be reassured to drop their children off. So that's where it started. And then we saw that the kids really enjoyed it too when they would hug. We had Mr. Potato Head out there who's a blow up and they're hugging her. And it was just really special. And then it was like more for us. Like we're having more fun out there than anybody. So it's not even so much the academics as it's doing that and then putting those pictures on our social media and in our newsletter just to show that even though we're in a hard time, school is a happy place and you can trust us. Um, as the family engagement coordinator, our parents can't come in here. So I'm in car line every morning and I'm the cross guard. That's how the kids were crossing guard. They refer to me as that. But I'm smiling and waving to all the parents as they're driving through. And then in the afternoon, I'm out there as well, smiling and waving. And that is just a great reminder that they have a friend of the school so that when it is academics, they feel kind of guilty if they don't come because they don't want to disappoint their friend Meg. So that's been one thing that's been very helpful here that I would have never guessed. But we've seen really good results there, even though it's not totally academic.
I
And
love that
too,
so much. so
I do
much.
too.
You're building relationships from the ground up. I mean, that's where they
Absolutely.
start. You've set the bar, and now you have to wear costumes
Yeah.
for the remainder of your time at that school. I love that. Go ahead, Dawn.
And I was going to say that school climate is so important. And I love what you said. You said parents cannot come in. But I personally, I signed up for you all's newsletter. And I am amazed just by the videos that I see. And when you guys do APTT and you're showing the kids doing their work, virtually. So it's like you're still a part of the school and you still have that connection with families. And it's so important, especially during a time like this when everybody's like, what's going on? So that families still can feel apart and still feel connected. I love that. Virginia, let's get you in this conversation because
Okay.
we know there's a lot of challenges going on right now. I mean, you guys really had to really kind of figure out what to do. And, you may have observed some things have worked better than others. So can you just talk about any challenges that you all have experienced and how you have overcome those challenges or still working on them?
Well, I will say that our county is very blessed to have the technology that we do. We have an abundance of technology. So, one of the challenges is a lot of our families feel like they're inadequate when it comes to technology and using it. So, we've worked a lot with training them on to be experts. We have trained our students to be experts on technology and to maneuver through everything that they need to do. We have digital days that the teachers work with them on that. So what I do and what our team does is we try to also have our parents become experts. So we actually have enough Chromebooks for each student to have their own. And so I have gone out to homes and I have trained them on that. And so one of our biggest things challenges too is that we have a very high Spanish speaking community. And so a lot of times they don't feel like they can put anything like towards the school or they don't feel like they fit in, and so we work really hard on that. So anything and everything we do is always in Spanish. And so like for Meg, so our clientele is different, so we always piggyback on each other, and with Sarah as well. um, I have probably the most challenge with Spanish speaking families. So like for Meg's Facebook Fridays, I love them, but it's also hard for us to do because the majority of our families are Spanish speaking. And so that is just a whole nother level that we have to figure out too. Um, but I would say that the challenge is just that right now the parents can't come in. And so we hold virtual check ins with parents, and we just try really hard to figure out how we can help them with using the technology because it's not going anywhere. This year we have found that, I mean, I think this might be a new way of doing things even after this COVID situation. So, um, I don't know, we're just trying to help our parents just understand that you don't have to be scared of technology. It's actually a wonderful thing. So, and we're here to help you and we have all the resources. You just have to reach out and let us know what you need. So,
Very good point. And Sarah, during your video presentation, I remember you doing like individual meetings because you mentioned virtual check-ins, and you were like literally just guiding that one parent through the entire process of what to do and how to stay engaged. So is that something you do often, or do you record that and send that out to other families?
Yes, we've actually done both. So and got the ideas from these ladies as well. There are tutorials that Meg has given us that are in Spanish that we've been able to send out to all of our families on how to navigate the platforms that we have. Also, I have recorded some of the tutorials that we've done that navigate, but just the one-on-one that we've had with the families have been just phenomenal. And just to sit down and ask specifically one question at a time, make that connection is amazing. So we've done all of that, and that really has meant the most to me. To be able to connect with someone, even though it's through a screen, it's still a genuine connection, and they appreciate it as much as I do.
Absolutely.
As I mentioned just a few minutes ago, Forsyth really has set the bar, and now we've labeled you as virtual ambassadors. So with that title, many other schools and districts are going to be looking at you guys as leaders in this capacity. So, what words of wisdom would you be able to pass on to other schools or districts who are learning to reach families during a pandemic?
Oh, this is Virginia. I'll chime in. I have found through this process that sometimes when I first started, I'm like, I I would say, "Oh, Meg is doing so much. I'm not doing enough," or, "Sarah's doing this and we're not doing it this way." But what I have found through all of this is that we are different schools, we have different clientele, and we just tweak it to what works for us. And so what works for one school may not work for another school, but everybody is doing what they need to do to reach their families. And so I just love that we collaborate and just kind of piggyback on each other on what, okay, this would work, or I could take a piece of this and it could work for me. But like Meg, I mean, I'm not. I'm not dressing up in a costume. That's just not. I mean, I love that she does it.
Like
It cracks
Miss
me up.
Tina, Miss Tina.
I love watching the
What will
videos.
it
I
take
love watching. But she tries all the time to get me to dress up, and I'm like, no, I'm not doing it. Just not. So, so I just make like our principal do it or whatever. Um, so that's how, I tweak that. I'm just not a dress up kind of gal, but I love when she does it. So that's just one of the things is like, just don't, when you're just doing it, ask and take the advice and just do what works for you in your school. And not everything works the same at each school.
Yeah. And
Amy,
oh, I'm
oh, go
sorry.
ahead.
I
No, you
I
go
just
ahead.
wanted to add to that, just from being new from that standpoint. Don't feel like that you have to reinvent the wheel because it's all so overwhelming. And you have people in your district, you have people in your school, you have people in the state. Just reach out and take it in and do, like Virginia said, do what you can do. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. And then once you become more experienced, step out and try to get more creative. Also, parents, reach out and get ideas in your community, but do what you can do and reach out and don't feel like that, don't get overwhelmed. So, because it can get overwhelming.
Um, Dawn and Susan, our manager, have kind of joked like this is our moment to shine. Like this, a pandemic is family engagement's moment to shine more than ever. We should be connecting with our families. Amy, I know as a federal programs director, your hands are in a lot of pots. And so I would ask you, these ladies have shared some wisdom for us, but as a federal programs director, how do you keep that going from your level and spread it across your schools and express the importance of family engagement and reaching out to your families?
Well, in all honesty, I think that it starts here. And so I feel like if we as a central office staff are fully committed and understand and express the absolute need, not just desire, but need to engage our families in our district, I feel like that permeates down to the schools. And our superintendent has been exceptionally clear, and him and I chat quite often about how we are a people business, and he will say that, and he says that in many of his meetings. We're a people business, and our clients are our families and our students, and other stakeholders as well. But those are our main clients, and so we need to make sure that we are meeting their needs, and we are doing the best, educating our students to the best of our ability, and helping our families with helping us educate their students. So I feel like if it starts up here, then it will just kind of trickle down. And of course, we have those conversations. It's part of our technical assistance every time we meet. And it's also kind of a collaborative practice among all of our different federal programs too. Even though I'm the director, there are several people that I collaborate with and work with the different federal programs, such as Title II, Title III, Title IV. And you will see a family engagement component in almost all of those different programs. And so including special education, which is a completely different person. And so, who is over that. But you will see those aspects of engaging our families, educating our families on, what they can do to help their, the education of their students and such. So I feel like that really helps us to help the schools realize the need and the importance of it.
Well, and for our families too, I mean, I love the support that we get from Amy and the district because even, we invited Amy to one of our Title One. We had a little leadership meeting and we invited some families and we asked them specifically about APTT, like, what is it? How do you feel as a parent that we could get more involvement? And, they gave us some feedback and Amy was there and she gave feedback. And so we made some of those changes and our parents were so excited to see that. And
Wow.
so I love too that, like I said before, that Amy looks at our school and says, okay, this is what's best for your school. And it's not just, well, we have to do it this way and it needs to be this
Right.
way. So we just find other ways to be able to still do all of our Title One criteria, but it works best for our school. So that's been really good and helpful.
Very good point. I love that. And Amy, you mentioned about leadership, and it's just so important to have leadership be a part of parent and family engagement and realize the importance of it. So we love the support that's coming down, and it shows. Meg, I want to sneak a question in here because someone mentioned about this Spanish-speaking families. How do you engage your Spanish-speaking families and families that speak other languages?
Sure. So here it's mainly Spanish, and we have fantastic ESOL teachers
Okay.
who really help us. So we get our translators for our meetings and whatnot. And for our annual meeting, we had some extra time. So I had the translator make video with me in Spanish to explain Teams. Because I know when we started on Teams back in March, I was terrified. And I was like, I went to college and I do this for a living. And I was like, I don't know how to use Teams. So I can only imagine how you would feel if you're a Spanish speaker. So we do a lot with our translators and have them translate documents for us and the videos, like I said. And then our Spanish speakers on staff, they are on the ground with our families. I mean, they're calling. They come to me. Our Spanish families need a lot of deliveries because oftentimes the moms don't drive. So they'll come to me and they'll check out materials to the families, and then I can deliver them. But they are calling, texting, and they really do a lot of the legwork to keep our families involved. And I'll tell you, the words of wisdom that I would have for other schools is just to stay visible during this time as the family engagement coordinator for your building principals, because those families need to see us. And I think it's really easy during a pandemic to sit behind a computer and create great things, but they need to see our faces and our smiles. And that's what I've learned during all this. And if I can do that, then they'll do the academic part that comes naturally. So we do Facebook Friday Show, Virginia mentioned, and it's definitely different here than at her school because we're about 80% English speaking and just 20% Spanish speaking. But that's a great way to stay visible. And we've really started doing a lot of them just recording Teams meetings like we are doing right now and posting that as our Facebook Friday show. That way we don't have to wear a mask or a shield and people can see our smiles. But just having a weekly check-in where people can find out something maybe new or get tips. My favorite one's coming out this Friday. We have a family and there's four children and there's little ones and they're playing with the mom's hair and she's answering questions about reading and APTT and why to come, and it's hilarious, but it's just via Teams having them on there. So just staying visible has been big, and staying visible with our Spanish speakers through those teachers.
So very important. Okay, so lastly, considering, again, everything that's going on, as you continue your virtually unstoppable quest, What are some of your plans for next year? I mean, considering we may be still virtual, hopefully not, but what are your plans? And I want to hear from you, Sarah, everyone, as well as on the district level.
So we will be school wide. So I've got big plans.
Right.
And, being guided with these ladies, I will have a much larger role. And I hopefully will be able to expand what I've been able to do as well. I would love to become more visible. There are so many things that Meg and Virginia do that I haven't been able to do as so far, but I would love to do so many of those things. The things mostly I would love to do is the Facebook Live. I love that, and that would go very well. Another thing that Meg does, which I think is so cool, is she has a drive-through service for her. And I'm not sure if I'm explaining it correctly, but for the virtual students, we have anything that the virtual students need. They can we take it up front, and then they will come pick it up. Also, if they need something from the family, from our resource room, we'll take it up front, and they'll pick it up. But Meg has a drive-through service, and I believe that they'll come through. Also, Meg does some drop offs at the home if the parents cannot come and get their APTT materials. She'll drop it off. She also has like a click list sort of thing too, where they can get online, click what they want, and she'll have it ready for them at the drive through. So I love all these ideas. I am just looking forward to expanding my little tiny job and making it so much bigger, because it's just the possibilities are endless.
Meg, why don't you talk about that? Anything to add with the drive-through service?
Sure. Well, with APTT, so we used to hold the materials here, and families would come to the meeting and get their materials at the meeting. And now, with being virtual, we send them home. So face to face is easy. We put it in the book bag with their APTT number and all the materials except the graph. We've been hanging on to the graph because Virginia said, if you send that graph home, they're not going to come to that APTT if they have everything. So you got to hold something. Um, so what we did was, for our virtual learners, I set up times, and we had it out in boxes in our front. So if my times didn't work, then they could drive by, walk up and pick it up and just go back to their car. But I would sit out there for a couple hours the 2 days before APTT and give those virtual teachers the times that I'm available. And that way, if they needed other resource from the family resource room or just wanted to check in, so often our virtual learners haven't maybe felt as involved as our face-to-face learners. So that was a connection. And then the delivery service has been really nice too, because they can order the materials through like our little click list that we have, and they can put whether they're able to pick them up or they need me to drop them by. And then usually on Fridays, I'll run out and drop materials to them if they can't come here. And again, it's another connection and another just being out and visible. So that's the way we've been getting materials, and I think we'll continue that next year for sure. The delivery has been really impactful, whether we were virtual or face to face, because there's a lot of our parents who don't drive or aren't able to get up here as easily. So that's something we'll definitely continue.
Virginia, how will you continue to be virtually unstoppable next year?
So we do a lot of the same things as well. Meg shared her little, she calls it the T list. It's kind of like the click list when you go to Kroger. So we also adapted that as well. And so we do where parents can get on and do them, check the materials, and I'll deliver, or they come pick it up. One of the biggest things too that we have is I have a Spanish liaison, Hector, who works. He's like on speed dial for me, because if I could do anything, I would go back to college and I would have retained that Spanish class if I took. That would have been real helpful.
Never too
Anyway,
late.
yeah, so we'll jump in the car and he comes with me if I know it's a Spanish speaking family. And so that's been really huge for us too. But I think that our parents weren't used to us showing up at their house, or like, oh, you don't have a computer? No problem. I'll be at your house, in 10 minutes. Is that good for you? And they're like, oh, really? You're coming? And so before we leave, we make sure, that the internet works and everything like that. So we'll definitely continue that. I think we're going to continue having virtual check-ins. And one of the biggest things that we did this year, which really wasn't academic, but it was so big on just the connection, is we did a virtual bingo just for fun. And so we sent
Yes.
bingo cards home, and we just did. We had this, and the principal did it from home. He did the bingo numbers with his family, and so it was really fun to do because all of the parents. We had about 80 families join us, and so in a scheme of things,
Wow.
that's not a whole lot, but that was a start. And so we're going to try to figure out different things that we can do. And with bingo, that was super easy to do with our Spanish speaking families too, because it was just holding up the numbers. Um, and a lot of times I will tell the kids, I use the kids as translators. I'm like, tell your mom.
Yes.
So we'll just continue doing that. I think like the virtual thing, it'll be fun to get um, the families back in the building, but also, I mean, this is just hitting another level of family engagement to reach parents who just can't come into the building. So,
Yeah, absolutely. And reach them in
mhm.
multiple ways.
Yes.
Amy, from the district level.
So, from the district level, one of the biggest things that we heard as far as input and feedback wise, whenever we were shelter in place, stay at home, was that our families had to go to multiple sites or multiple areas for our district to get resources. They had to log into a platform, and then they had to go, if they wanted some social and emotional information, they had to go to our student support services page, and then they had to go to another page if they wanted to know about digital citizenship. So it was just a lot. And so it really helped us at the district level realize, we really have not made navigating all of this very easy. We have thought we had, and we're putting all the information out there, but it's kind of like an abundance of information in a bunch of different places. So with we have our student support services who have like a parent toolbox, and they've kind of started that. It is very socially and emotionally based, but we're looking at trying to either expand that or find a way to really kind of consolidate and put things in um, a more readily available area for families to get information and things. We do have a new staff member too. She is our diversity, equity, and inclusion specialist. And so she is also going to be helping with family engagement here in the district. And I'm very excited to collaborate with her too, to figure out, what we need to do to meet more of our family needs too, of all of our different in all of our different inclusive manners, I should say. So just some more of trying to do some logistical type things at the district level to make things easier for our families. So that's our first step.
Well,
Very
and we're
good.
and we're going to do the same thing. I actually was inspired by Sarah and the Bitmoji contest that you guys did. I was like, well, it's like a one-stop shop for parents. So I actually have been trying to create a Bitmoji classroom where it's links to everything that is just all they have to do is look on it. And even if they just need groceries, like they can click on this one little page, and it's very user friendly. It's aesthetically pleasing for the parents to look at. So I think that's cool too that everybody's just starting to put it as a one-stop shop for parents
Look
to
at that.
navigate.
I love it. She heard an idea and now she's taking it and implementing it. Yes.
Yes, I'm perfecting it, but I'm going to roll it out here pretty soon.
That's it. That's it. And that's what this is all about. It's all about hearing from others and getting ideas on how we can, make our program better, how we can connect with our families. And then we really didn't mention a lot about community engagement because I know, just because of everything that's going on. Maybe I should ask about that community engagement. Amy, is there any plans to reach out to community partners or whether that's district level, school level next year?
Absolutely, yes, very much so. So we definitely, especially excuse me, over Title IV as well. And so, of course, that is a big piece of Title IV is community partners. And so, trying to get different community partners that are willing and able to provide us with either videos or chatting abilities and such to log into classrooms and to help with instructional practices or help with providing resources and information that meet different standard requirements too. So yes, I feel like that would be excellent to do. And then also too, putting that information on the parent site too, so that way parents can go back and they can, have all of the community resources that they need as well. So yes, that's definitely a part of the toolkit that we want to have. And of course, involving all of our community stakeholders too in our CNA process, which we really haven't talked about either, is, this year our needs assessment and our district improvement plan, or our CLIP rather, will be online this year, because I typically have a room of approximately 80 individuals who are working on our needs assessment, and that's just not conducive in our building with the whole 6 feet rule. So doing that virtually this year and engaging them, and I'm actually more hopeful that more people will actually attend and participate, because they'll be able to do that from the comfort of their office or their living rooms. So, that is in the that's in the works as well.
Wow, fantastic. Okay, well, the very last part of this is if you have anything else to share. So, Sarah, you mentioned you have some presentations, some PowerPoints for us. So, I'm gonna let you take the screen and just share with us. And yes,
Well, like I said, yeah, I'll share a little. I might, it might be a good idea for me just to send it to you, but I do want to share because yeah. So this
There you
whole
oh,
go.
thing,
that's
yeah, you don't.
cute.
Cute.
Yeah, that whole thing you don't want to see. It was the questions that you asked. So there you go. But here, you got to see this one. All right.
Please, yes.
Here we go. Okay.
Oh my gosh, it's so funny.
So here we go.
Oh my gosh, that's cute.
That is cute.
Oh, look at you, Amy. Sassy, Amy.
And then here, this is I did just oh, this is kind of cool. It this is a new little it's called My Simple Show, and it talks about how our APT
Forsyth County School System.
and
Engaging families virtually.
but as we
Engaging
go along,
prior to the APT team meeting. Families that are learning remotely are encouraged to use a drive-through type service at the school to pick up their
pictures
materials.
that Megan
Families that are unable to
Virginia
come to the school to pick up APT supplies may have them delivered by staff directly to their doorstep. Teachers carefully plan the APT team meeting to encourage virtual parent engagement. During the virtual APT team meeting, parents and teachers meet as a class or grade level in a Microsoft Teams meeting. There are interpretation services held simultaneously in breakout rooms, providing other reasonable support needed. The teachers model foundational skills and games being taught their students in a video. This will be easily accessible to parents and students after the meeting, allowing makeup sessions to be easier than ever. APTT surveys and student goal sheets are filled out online via Google Forms, giving the school and teacher needed feedback. Parents are asked to send in pictures of them being engaged with their students with the APTT games and activities. These are posted on the school's social medias.
All right. Could you all hear all that?
Uh-huh.
I just want to
Yes.
make sure I
Yeah,
hit
awesome.
the right thing. So, and then this is just a really kind of cool sheet that was inspired by what these ladies do, that our each class does. So they are able to post this on their website after the APTT meeting and during and before, where they click and they can fill out their goal sheet, via the internet. And then there's the parent feedback survey, and then if they've missed it, the teachers link their presentation on this one-stop shop page there.
Wow,
So
that's awesome.
that it's a very cool tool. And then we have our Watchdog Dads, which all of them, all of
Oh,
There's
One of the best
lots
photos
of.
of the hallway
I'm gonna
has
like
listed
skip through
here
it, and
on their web
I
page.
thought this was really cool.
So
What
you
Cumming
can
does,
click the interest
they just
form
click the
and
interest form and
fill it
pull it
out.
out,
You
and
can
it
tell
has
a
suggestions for what
story
they can
or a
do,
joke, record yourself reading a story, give some positive
how they use their
reading to
watchdog
our
dad.
virtual students.
Here's one of our
Almost
parents
exactly a month before Christmas, the trees
that
arrive
read to
for the
my virtual
holidays.
students.
On the day
So had
We have our car rider
the
line, and then
Atmosphere
there's
Friday live with
this
the
is
Watchdog Dads.
the mornings instead of a full day.
Facebook
But you're
Live
all such
with
busy guys, and thank you for finding the time to be here.
Meg,
It is an
having her
amazing program. So Tim,
question and answer just like what you just
offense
did
to our
with us.
moms, because
It's
kids love our
amazing. Got
moms
a
and
lot of
our volunteers, but
feedback
there's
and
something about
information with them. So that's very cool. And then the input that was needed. We have our input.
How are we go on?
We have
And
the live
we'll
meetings,
have them
and during the
translated
live
as well.
meetings, we put the surveys on the in the live meetings. We have breakout rooms where they can go. Christy has made some Padlets that they have sent home, but that's the end. Oh, except here we go, Team Awesome. There we go. And Christy, there's Christy. That
Oh,
is our Title I teacher here. So that is all that I have to share.
that is
And
so
so,
cute.
So
Mandy, I want to
good.
put our picture in there, Mandy. Let's put our picture in there.
Yeah, let's do
Team
it.
awesome.
Yes.
Oh, that is fantastic. Wow. This has been incredible. Thank you so very much. I know our coordinators and other school staff are just looking at this, getting all kind of great ideas. So anyone has anything else to share before we close out? All right. Well, you guys continue to be team awesome because it is showing. We really appreciate it. All right. So that is it. You guys continue to be virtually unstoppable.
thank
Thank
you.
Thank
you.
you.
Everybody.